And so I got a chance to get out after work and I disassembled the bike. So the plan is to strip the paint and then, prime it, paint it, and hopefully get some new parts. Got to replace that back tire. So here we go. I would say that I disassembled it as complete as I could. I would say the steering stem has like a washer that fits into this location here. There's one on the top, one on the bottom, and then this sleeve goes in between, and I'm sorry, not a washer, a bearing that fits on the top and the bottom. And I had some trouble getting it out. I probably should have just left it in because they didn't seem like they were in that bad shape, but it is what it is. And so I did end up destroying the bearings. I'll show you what they look like. So this is the bearing here. I ended up taking, kind of ripping the races out of it. Once I got the one out, it was easy enough to get the second one out. But I will also show you that half of the bearing cover or outer race is still stuck in the sleeve there. And so I'm going to spend a little time trying to get that out. I believe that these are just kind of standard bearings that come in, rollerblades or skateboards. And so I definitely have some of these. And so it won't be any problem to replace them. So this is what it looks like. I still need to get this outer race out of this steering tube so that I can put a new one in. All right, so we finally had some sunny weather. I took some time to disassemble the bike, and so I'm gonna start stripping the paint. I picked up two kinds of stripper here. I've got this clean strip, premium stripper, and it talks about removing it in 15 minutes. And then I've got this aircraft paint remover. But it's a non-methylene chloride, so it should be pretty strong, but less strong than what the other stuff was. And so I think because I still have some work to do on the frame, I'm going to use the aircraft stuff first. It talks about waiting 45 minutes, so that'll give me time to do some other work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it in a container here, and then I'm going to brush it on, and I'm going to have my son help me here. So I'm wearing safety glasses. We're wearing safety glasses. We got gloves. We're gonna try and make sure we don't get any of it on our skin or eyes or anything like that. So it's been about 45 minutes. We're going to grab a paint scraper and we're going to give it a try. The paint that's over the top of it is coming off, but the original paint, not so much. Looks like it's going to take a little bit more to get that off. So I think what we might do is I'm going to scrape as much as I can, and then we're going to put another coat on.
Are you using a different type or the same one?
I think we're trying the same one again. Alright, so that other stuff wasn't so good. At least I don't think so. Right back, thanks. I'm going to try this other premium stripper from Clean Strip. It says it's got a 15-minute time frame, and so we're going to see how well it goes. So I'm just going to give you a close-up of what it looks like. I'm going to say this is the Clean Strip stuff, which is really good, I think. It's doing an okay job. And this is the aircraft remover stuff with without the chemical in it. And I put another coat on it. I'm just gonna let it sit. I mean, I paid for it, so I'm gonna try and use it up if I can. But I think maybe we'll have to use the other stuff to really get the stuff off. All right, so I did about 3 coats of the Clean Strip stripper here that's shown here on this, and it did a great job. I mean, I think I could have gotten more off, but I'm kind of running out of time today, and so this is what it looks like. The other stuff here on the handlebars, I did easily the same amount of coats, but it didn't do as good a job. In fact, it looks good now because I actually used one last coat of the other with the chemical in it to get this off, and so I definitely think that I won't be using this aircraft anymore. But this is just kind of a review of where I'm at, and I need to try and get the rest of it off, and then we'll get ready to prime it. All right, so the paint stripper did a really good job. Before I do more paint stripper, I have this little 2-inch wire wheel with that I put on the drill. I'm gonna try and get some of the real loose stuff off, and then we'll see what's left after that. All right, it's coming along. I gotta let my drill take a break maybe. So I've got some 80 grit sandpaper here. We'll have to see how well it does. Same grit, different colors. Alright, so one of the things I wanted to fix before I put paint on it is that the foot peg on this side, it's crooked, and I think that the part of the problem is that the peg itself is bent. Don't know how it got that way, but also if you measure, I'm going to measure the space here. Right, so if this is 27.3 millimeters space in here, or 27.6, and then if I measure on this side here, I got like 29.8. So I can visibly see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I can visibly see that this part up here is bent up a little bit. So I'm going to kind of hit it with the hammer and just see if I can get it equal or close to what it is over there. Then that way it has less wiggle room to let that peg move around. This isn't really the most scientific method here, but I think it'll do. Kind of eyeball it, and then I'm going to measure again. So yeah, somewhere between 27.6 here, and this is 28.3, so it's getting a little closer. I could probably use like a C-clamp, but what I don't want is I don't want this bottom part to move. I want that to stay where it's at. In fact, actually, even when I'm looking at it, maybe I could even move it in this direction here. It looks like it's the whole thing. Maybe it got into some sort of accident. But I don't know if I'm going to go that far with it yet. So I think I might just kind of give this a little more. So now I am at 25.6. And so what I may try and do is try and put this end out somehow. So I just have a large punch here. I'm hoping that it'll fit through here maybe. Yeah, that'll do it right. Now I'm at 27.5, 27.7. I actually think that that's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a wipe down, and I'd like to maybe try and take advantage of the weather here because I think it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, so I'd love to get a coat of primer on it. I know it's not fully clean to the bare metal, but I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Alright, I'm gonna bring this out to the yard and maybe we'll get a coat of primer on it. Unfortunately, I didn't hit the record button for the first coat there, so I just sprayed the first coat on. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit, and then I'll put a second coat on. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to flip it, and then we'll prime the bottom. gonna give that another 10 minutes, and then we'll come back to it. I don't know if I showed this before, but this is the, let's see if I can get it to show here. This is the primer that I'm using. No particular reason. I'm just using the same Duplicolor paint, so I think I'm going to need another can though, to be honest. Alright, we're going to give it another 10 minutes. Alright, so you can get a little closer, yeah? Try, don't spray the whole time. Try and just spray when it goes sweep emulsions. Yep, there you go. There you go. That's about it. Well, I'd say the can's empty. It's not 100% full cover, but I think it's good enough, because once I get the paint on there, it'll cover up anything else that might need to be covered. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put it away, and then work on the front forks. I think the front forks need more paint stripper, so that'll be what's next.